Hey guys, so I'm making here just a quick video. It's more of a tutorial than anything on how to actually make a Warrior Awakens Goku without a shirt, because plenty of people on the internet have actually made this figure, so it's not a surprise on how to do it, but no one shows off what they did to do it. So I figured I'd attempt at making one myself and then showing off how to do it. This is where I'm at so far. Obviously it's not complete, but I will be making two videos. I'll be making a basic version and a advanced version. Now, before you do this to your figure, I do recommend that you know that if you do this and you get it wrong, you basically sacrifice a good figure here. I knew that coming in, so before I did that, I actually purchased myself a second Warrior Awakened Goku. So now I have two, so I don't have to feel too guilty if I ruin this figure. But let me just show you quickly the real things I did to it before I start on how to do it. The first thing I did to remove this shirt panel, because if you pop off the shirt, that and that is what's underneath. And to do that, what I did was I ran this guy through the hair dryer at max heat for about 5 minutes, and then once the plastic's hard enough, they just pop off like so. Here's the underside. Let's see if you can focus. So they're on like that by two little pegs. Peg into the shirt. Here's the other one. You see? They just glue in and peg into the figure. And so, to do that, you just heat it up and you pop it off. And, I was surprised. I thought I was going to see, humongous, if I can autofocus. There you go. I was surprised because I thought I was going to find, huge holes, like this whole pecs was just going to be gone and humongous hole in the back, but it's not really it's not really that bad, just a little bit of hole there. There's a little bit something up there. Anyway, so after I popped that off, I went down to his torso, and to do that, I obviously did paint it already. The skin tone isn't perfect, it's just its first paint. So what I did was an X-Acto knife. You cut off the tattered shirt piece there. Now mine wasn't perfect because you can tell where the abs stop, and on the back you can't really see the line, but it's right there. But it doesn't look too bad from afar. You can't really tell that there was the shirt there, but up close obviously you can. Either way, I painted it to match more. Obviously that's not the correct coloration. I will be doing the better coloration a bit later on. And then after I cut that off, I also repainted his belt, so it's all blue. So there's no longer the bit of, because there was orange right here. Yeah, there's no longer orange, it's all just blue now. Then the last thing I did before I ended off this video was I cut these off. Now I don't know if you can tell, but on the Warrior Awakens figure, he has kind of an extension of his teared pants, if you can see on the back maybe. Yeah, he has an extension on his pants. And I decided to cut that off because it exposes more of his leg, which, again, for my basic figure, which all you need to do finish off is to paint this correctly. And I'm going to be adding some overnight dry clay onto these gappage here. And I'm just going to let that dry overnight and then paint over them. And then, you should have your basic figure, which that I will show off once I accomplish that. But what I'm going to do in my advanced video is I'm going to actually cut off or remove all of this tatteredness here. Because as you know, towards the final part of the fight, Goku just has a bit of his pants sticking out like that. And the rest is all foot. I have thought about doing this in many ways. I was thinking of buying another Trunks figure, the super armored Trunks, and popping off the legs and putting that one on and then cutting the boot off and gluing the boot on. But I decided that I'm just going to cut through all of this and then put clay over it and just kind of sculpt the foot. So for my advanced, for my basic, I'm just going to put clay over this and, paint it up correctly, and that will be the basic figure done. I will be also posting the advanced version that shows how to cut this off and how to put the clay over it and then paint over it, and that will be my final look, because I'm going to have it, with the shirt, the pants gone here, and that covered up. Like I said before, if you do not have a secondary of these guys, I don't recommend you do it. But if you do, then go ahead. And if you just, you really want that look, I hope this video can help you guys, because I know no one on YouTube has shown how to do it. So I really hope this video helps you guys out, and if you guys do decide to make one, post it. Let me see how it looks. So I'll keep you guys posted as I go along with this figure. Alright, thanks. Okay, so a quick update to my Warrior Awakens Goku here is I have shaved the leg down. It's not done yet, but I've decided that I'm just going to make one video showing off how to make this Goku figure because I don't really want to go through all the steps. So I here have shaved off most of it. I'm not fully done with the leg yet, but for comparison, there's the original Warrior Awakens leg, and here is my new Warrior Awakens leg. So I tried to do it in a way that still looks like the leg muscle, but it's not done. I still want to kind of sand it down around here just to make it look more muscle defined. And also I now own the clay that I will be using. So this is the clay I'm going to be using to patch up these holes that he has here on his back, and a bit of holes, and if there's any holes needed here. And I'm also going to sculpt the little fold he has there. But this is the clay I'm using. It's a air drying clay because I'm not going to oven bake it, because if I do oven bake it, it will melt the plastic, and that's not what I want. So this is the clay I'm using. It is a 24-hour air drying clay. It's quite a lot. I bought this at Michael's for about $8. You get a lot. So this is the clay I'll be using, and just this is how the Goku is coming along. It's coming along nicely. Once I'm done shaving this all down, getting the correct muscle look, I will be painting it the correct color to match the leg, and then I'm going to paint this correctly, and then I'm going to add the muscle tone, or to cover up these holes right here, and then the Warrior Awakens Goku should be complete. He'll go, oops, he'll fit nicely next to my Warrior Awakens Goku. So yeah, guys, stay in tune and I'll keep you updated as I go along. Okay guys, so here's my final result for my Warrior Awakens Son Goku custom. I did, since the last update, make quite a few changes to it, but if you listen to what I have to say now, and you listen to what I said before, I'll explain in detail what I did, and how I did it, and how it took, and how long it went, and all that stuff. So, with the same clay I used to sculpt this, which was my overnight hardening clay, I added not only clay here to his foot to give it more of the defined texture shape, but I bumped up his arms. I bumped up this piece, which I did it like many layers. Like I had one layer be here, then I added some here, and then I added to the back. Same here, I put clay on this back piece, and then I stuck up this piece, which is how I get those curves right there. Same here, I just put it on the back and then pulled it forward. Same over here, see, like you can kind of tell right there that there's like where the clay met the actual toy, or the actual figure underneath. I also added clay to the chest here, obviously. I added clay here, which you can kind of tell right there, that's where the seam was. Here, I added here under the ribs. I didn't add any clay onto this. And if I flip them over to the back, I also added clay to the back, which I don't know if you can tell, but right there is where the under of the ribs showed up. And then I added a whole like heart piece there, and then on top of that I added this to make it more buff. As you can see, I didn't really finish painting it because I was running out of paint. The paint I used was really bad, which is kind of why it looks like this, but it's not too bad. Here he is from the side, just to kind of show you his bulk. He's a lot bulkier now than the original one. I did obviously paint it, as you can tell. It took me a while to get this head to look right, but I did add paint there. I also added paint onto his body. How I did it was, not only, I added like 4 different colors of skin tone onto him, and yet they still didn't really end up matching well, but I'm happy with it, I first dabbed on the red, and then I put over it the black. So it kind of has like the effect of like where there's the gash, and then there's the blood around it. I also repainted my belt. Since I last saw it, it was a very, very dark blue. I didn't like it. So now there's a difference of blues, which is, you know, what I want. Lastly, I painted his boots, or if I could get that to focus really quickly. Come on. There we go. See, not perfect. Nowhere near perfect. But, yeah, see, kind of right there is pretty bad. Again, this was just the quick touch-up for it. I repainted it. Obviously, he has now the yellow stripe and the red lace versus, you know, the yellow lace and red stripes. I left the bottoms untouched and the sides untouched, but I just mainly wanted to focus on the yellow stripes. I obviously did do it on their back, and that's just to be more anime true, because that's how he looked. And the last thing I painted was his hair. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's a more kind of dull yellow, because, you know, towards the ending of the saga, he has more of a really dull hair look. You know, that's just how I saw it in the anime, so I try to stay true to capturing it. His articulation, it still functions. It is rather limited now, like that's as far as it'll go up, but, you know, the elbows still bend fairly well. His knee, it functions still, you know. So the articulation, for sculpting this, you know, not everyone has to do the sculpting part, but if you will do it, I recommend you take a toothpick or a knife or whatever you're using to sculpt. I know some people have professional tools, and make sure that the seams where the articulation is, like up here and right there, that you don't cover that up, because that will hinder the articulation on it. You don't want that. So that's just my little tip. I'm nowhere near a painter, you know. This was my first time doing something this large in scale, but in overall seriousness, I don't think it came up that bad, you know. Obviously, this video isn't a, you know, follow these steps and you'll get this Goku figure. No, this is, you know, this is how I did it. This is how I'm showing you guys how to do it. You know, you don't have to take my word for it, but it's just how I did it. So there's my. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me get the lighting. There we go. Okay, so there's the original figure. Not the original. There's my redone figure, and then here is the original Warrior Awakens figure. Now, obviously, you can tell that, you know, the boot colors are different. You know, that's yellow, well, that's red, and that's red, well, that's yellow. The colors on the belt are different, and the Saiyan hair is different. This one has some more, like, maybe dark brown, or not dark brown, but like, there's some shading in there, you know, to make it pop a bit more, while mine's over here just a solid color. It's a solid yellow. It's a really dull yellow. For bulky wise, you know, like, you can't really tell, but I did beef him up a bit. You know, looking at his back, he is a bit beefier now. Not too much beefier. I didn't want him to hulk out, you know, like Final Form Frieza, but, you know, it gets its job done. So let me just get you guys some comparisons. So there's obviously the original Warrior Awakens Goku, and here it is compared to my Frieza figure. So it's in good scale with the Frieza figure, you know. I like the scale here. So there's it is with its Frieza, and then here it is compared to the Bandai America. Actually, maybe I'll scoot it back here a bit. The Bandai America Goku. That, I like that too, you know. I like the hair transition. You know, I like it how it's more, like, over here in the original, it's more, like, poofy. It's more bulked out, you know, because that's how it was, you know. It was really wide and expanded. And in the Bandai one, it's more closed and together. I really like that about this figure. This is a great figure, in my opinion. And, yeah, that's my figure, guys. Let me focus back in. So that's my custom figure, guys. I hope this tutorial helps you, or at least shows you how I did it. You know, you could do it way better. You can paint it way better, you know. So, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.